Welcome back, everybody. We are here with the good old hockey podcast. This is episode number 3. Got David Galli back. I missed last week, but he's back again. We got a lot of hockey coming up tomorrow when this episode comes out, so it'll be Tuesday. We got ESPN's Frozen Frenzy coming up, which will be exciting. We'll get into that a little bit later.
16 games.
16 games, all 32 teams. I'm excited to see what ESPN has in store. I know I've talked in the past about just ESPN's like coverage of hockey, so we'll see what they do tomorrow. But other than that, how was your week, Kelly?
Dude, it's fantastic. Before I get into that, I love how NHL and ESPN is doing this literally the night the NBA opens up too. It's just hilarious.
Oh, that is good.
It's like
hey, good for them.
It's totally counteracting. Yeah, I guess it's kind of smart. But yeah, man, weekend was good. Just it was pretty lax weekend. Had a hockey game on Sunday, nice. Which we tied 4-4.
Okay.
Had a pretty sick snipe in it, but
nice.
Felt like selling, but like, dude, with beer league, it's like if you sell it, you're a fucking douchebag.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it was a sick snipe. Fun game though.
I feel like maybe it's just the old heads that play beer league, but I don't know. Bring some fun, make some people. I don't know. I feel like you should be able to sell at least just a little bit. Maybe not over the top.
It was my first goal of the season, so I'm like, I was trying to keep it low key. Maybe a second, third goal. I'm gonna, give it a little bit better of a selly. And then on Saturday, I actually did this like reffing seminar.
Nice.
But I had just going through it and going on the ice without a stick. I love hockey too much. I love playing hockey too much. I just don't know if reffing's exactly up my alley.
In your alley, yeah. Reffing's tough. I've never done it, but I respect anyone that does it. Yeah, that too. But I could see that being weird, just kind of skating out there and like not being in the play, but you're just like calling all the plays and stuff. So that would be
you're kind of like the policeman of the game, you know?
Yeah, no, totally.
And then Friday night I got a new job too. So I know I've been kind of bouncing around some jobs, but I feel like this one's pretty good. It's for a marketing firm in downtown Boise. So
nice.
Stoked to be on board with them.
Yeah.
Very stoked. Yeah. It's very similar to stuff I was doing with the Steelheads in a way. So
okay, that's cool. Yeah, I went to a Steelheads game on Friday. I will say it's not the same. They had their little what was it? They had something that reminded me. It was something that I think it wasn't the blimp or anything, but
was it the tricycles? Did they get the tricycles out?
Yeah, they did. That was what it was.
Oh my gosh, dude. That makes me jealous. I got those things for them. I put them together and everything too.
Yeah, I remember you saying something like that, and I was like, I think those are the trikes that like they're totally riding the coattail. But yeah,
was it cool at least? Was it cool at least to see them
it was cool.
out and play? Okay.
Yeah, it was cool.
Pissed, dude. Supposedly the goal horn that I was working on and ordered and stuff isn't even up and going. Supposedly it's not working. I would have figured that shit out by now.
Right away. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. But I saw they split the weekend.
Yeah.
They lost on Friday and then won on Saturday.
They lost not big on Friday, but they lost I think like 5-2 and then beat them 8-2 the next day. I was like, okay, of course. The one I go to they lose, but
high scoring game.
Yeah. They had Allen Americans. They had the Allen Americans?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought they had an AHL team named that, but they had this one kid who's number 15 on their team. I forget his name, but he was nasty. He was dishing some passes out there, and I was like, damn, this kid's good. It also was weird.
I say it's Combs, dude. Combs was number 15 last year, but I could be wrong. Let's see.
Yeah, look it up. I think it probably was him. He's a little shorter guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's funny about the Americans is they're affiliated to the Senators. It's like hilarious. Like,
are they?
A team name
That's
called
so
the
weird.
Americans affiliated to the Canadian team.
The capital is Canada.
Finlay.
It's hilarious.
Finlay, 5'7", 155 pounds. Damn.
Yeah.
Small guy.
No, he's little, but he was nasty. He was good. And then even like our goalie, it was weird to see the Steelheads goalie. I don't know his name, but he was born in 2002, which is just weird for me to see that. I know that there's a 2005 playing in the NHL right now, Connor Bedard, but it's just still weird to see a kid younger than me playing ECHL hockey and like
100%.
It's just weird. But enough of the ECHL talk. We got some fun stuff. We've got how far are we into the season now? Almost 2 weeks, I think.
Yeah, I think 2 weeks. Most teams are 5 or 6 games in.
Yeah. Had some good games here and there. Been watching. What was the last game? I think the last game I watched was the Red Wings, which I'll talk about them later, but they were electric that night. One team, though, that has been failing, and I'm sure you're happy about this, Galli, is the Oilers. I know I talked about them last episode, but they just had another bad luck on their case. McDavid's out for 2 weeks. I don't know. What do you think from so far what you've seen from the Oilers?
I feel like Dreisaitl's still playing as well.
I think
he has been always.
I think he's fourth in points right now.
Yeah, I think like I talked about this in like the last time when we were in our season predictions and stuff. Like it's going to come down to their defense and goaltending, and I feel like their goaltending has not been too hot at all. No. And then them losing McDavid, these next couple weeks are going to be really hard for them.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because like
they're facing some adversity for sure.
Yeah. No, they are. Even like if you look at on paper at the Oilers, they're not a bad team, but
yeah,
I don't know. Something's just not clicking, and it's still early, so it's not. I don't think anything that they should be worried about. But you don't want to get to a point where it's too late, and they're rushing to make a playoff spot.
Yeah, and they're like so-and-so starter for the season, Stuart Skinner, 814 save percentage. Ooh. 2 goals, like 11 goals against. That's pretty brutal for 2 games started.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
That is bad.
And Jack Campbell's good. Former Steelhead too. Shout out.
Oh, he is? I didn't know that.
Yeah. For I think just a season, few games.
So.
But he's got a 902 save percentage. I think he's kind of their option right now because Skinner has not been playing well.
Yeah.
Skinner was like an AHL goalie before last season. Last season he kind of broke out, but it's not looking too hot for the Oilers at all.
Yeah.
And McDavid getting out, being injured, that's gonna really suck. It's also interesting. Kane has like 1 assist through 5 games.
Yeah,
that's not gonna cut it,
Mm-mm. No, it's not. I mean, he's one of their top forwards, which is weird that nowadays that would be a sentence, but he's been a good player. He just had his little stint with all the troubles he was in and gambling with the Sharks and stuff like that. But I don't wish anything bad on him. So I hope something turns around. And it's early in the season, so I don't think it's any panic, but it should raise some eyebrows for the Oilers.
Yeah, definitely. And losing to the Canucks twice, like you said, that 8-1 loss was
8-1
brutal. And even losing to the Flyers, that's tough. And and then they're losing their best player in the league too. It's just going to be tough. And you know what? I think that's going to affect the MVP race quite a bit. McDavid's
It could, honestly. Yeah, I think I don't know how he'll probably miss 5 or 6 games. I mean, I don't know though. If he repeats last year, I don't think even if he's on pace, I don't think that'll have anything. But I just hope for his sake that he doesn't have. It's not like an injury that's going to carry on forward, like he can play through kind of thing. I hope maybe hopefully it's just something quick for him. I don't wish any
body injury, right?
Yeah, it looked like from what I read, it seemed like it was something with his hip. At least when he was playing, he was grabbing onto something up there. But for the Edmonton, we'll see how they do. It's still early, but we're going to keep our eyes on them. A couple other teams though.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be like as dominant as last year, just because. At least to start out the season, who knows what it's going to be like in February, March, and April. But at least to start out the season, like the Pacific's pretty weak still, so like they could definitely squeak into the playoffs.
That's very true.
Flames aren't anything too special right now. Fucking so inconsistent, it's pissing me off.
2 and 3.
But Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. Everyone's going to be watching the Oilers, see how they do without McDavid. It's going to be interesting how Draisaitl does without McDavid, because I feel like they're kind of a 1-2 punch together, and
they are.
I think they rely on each other, which is good, but like also,
yeah.
I mean, we'll see how he plays without McDavid now. So
yeah, that's true.
So I'm pissed off at an interview or at a
Oh, I saw that.
interviewer like
Yeah,
asking some question about Skinner, and he's like, "What the fuck do you want me to say about him?"
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. I think because he came out to play a puck and fumbled it and score on him, and the reporter asked like, "What did you say to him after that?" And he was just like, kind of shook his head and was like, "I don't know, like he's a human, he makes mistakes." Like he was just so off-putted by that, which is I would have liked that question to be asked to like someone like Tortorella, and seeing how he would respond to that.
For real.
But yeah, some of those reporters just ask the dumbest questions.
Oh yeah, I know,
but,
dude. I feel like it's their job to ask the dumb questions, though.
Yeah,
Gets
no,
the views, right?
Yeah, that is true. They clicked on that video, got shared a shit ton, so good for him, I guess. But
yeah, hey, the Oilers failing though, I'm very happy with. That's the last thing I'll say on it. Not upset at all on that coming from a Flames fan.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so let's see here. We got some teams that are still undefeated, even from last episode when I talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the Bruins still undefeated. Who did they play last night? Yeah, I am kind of surprised that they're still undefeated. Who's that rookie that just scored for them? Something with a P.
Oh, who was it, dude? It was Poitras.
Yeah, I don't know how to say his last name.
Got 2 goals last night against the
he did.
The Ducks.
Yeah, the Ducks. That's right. So I think it's interesting with Boston because they've been so dominant, or not even dominant, but just had like this veteran team of players. I'm curious to kind of see now that they have these young guys that can kind of come in and fill those spots that Bergeron is left open, and who else just retired? Krejci? Or no?
Yeah, Krejci.
Yeah.
Dude, it's fucking Pasternak's so good. 8 points in 5 games.
Yeah.
Goal a game currently right now, and Marchand's also stepping up. Those players are good, man.
Yeah.
I still can't believe Pastrnak got drafted 25th overall. I saw like a graphic on Instagram today saying there's 24 players that got drafted before him.
Yeah.
Like, he's
me and Zooch talked about that last episode. I wonder if they got that from us. They probably didn't, but we talked about it last episode how there was a bunch of players that got picked before him, and I was kind of in shock. I thought they got Pastrnak maybe one of the seasons that they didn't do so well. The Bruins didn't, but that was, I mean, at 25 to get who else was in that draft? I forget. I think Brady Tkachuk was in there. No, not Brady Tkachuk.
It was a while. I want to say it was like 2013, right?
Yeah, we could look at it again. But yeah, I mean, Boston, I will say they have exceeded my expectations. I didn't think they were going to do that, but they're here 5-0. They play the Blackhawks tomorrow, and we'll get into that later. But we do have them losing tomorrow, so maybe that will happen tomorrow. We'll see. But another team that's undefeated.
Yeah, with the Bruins, I think their biggest strength right now is their goaltending. They got Ullmark and Swayman, and they are just fucking dominating. I mean,
great goalie tandem.
The Swayman's got a 2.02 goals against average. Ullmark's got 1.0, and Ullmark's got a 9.62 save percentage, and Swayman's got a 9.43. So like their goaltending is, I think that's probably the biggest reason why they are undefeated right now. However, I do think their schedule's been a little bit weak compared to a lot of teams, and I feel like that's the case with some of these undefeated teams.
Yeah, and especially like such a good team.
The Kings are pretty good. They play the Sharks, Preds, Hawks. So, I mean, out of all those teams, it's like Preds and Kings are like arguably like competitive, but the other teams, it's like they should win.
Yeah. Even then, I mean, the Preds are 3-3 right now. So it's like, I think that's, I mean, when you're that good of a team, it's like any team you play is kind of already at disadvantage. So, but they've taken advantage of it. Another team, Colorado. I don't know if you've watched any of their games, but they look kind of scary.
Yeah,
between
100%.
McKinnon goal or assist, I
good.
guess, the other night was insane. Back and forth. I think it was against the Canes. And then backdoor pass, just tip in. Really, that was his goal. That was all his work. The guy was just there with his stick on the ice, doing what he's supposed to do. But, yeah, Colorado's looking good. Georgiev, I think, has all 5 of their wins. So he's been pretty lights out as well, which is, I think, in the predictions we kind of talked about him needing to have a good year.
Yeah.
So see if he
He's
keeps
having
it
a
up.
good year so far.
Yeah.
5 wins, 5 games started. So I mean that's pretty damn good. No, they're looking dangerous though. All their players are looking like they're coming back. Rantanen's leading their team in points. I think we talked about that too. Like Rantanen's got to have a bounce back year after getting injured last year. Lehkonen was one of the people they picked up, correct?
Yeah,
I think so. Lehkonen was on their team. He's doing good too. He's got 6 points. So Makar's obviously up there too.
Yeah.
Point per game. Over point per game.
Yeah. Yeah, that team, I mean, I think we said it in the beginning, but yeah, I think that team's going to win the Central. Stars are coming close too. They only have they're a game behind. They only got 4 games played. They don't have a regulation loss. They have an OT loss, but yeah, Colorado's lighting it up. Another thing I just noticed in the Metro, the number 1 team right now is the Flyers.
Yeah, what the hell?
I'm shocked. So 3-1-1, but the Rangers are right behind them, 3-2 with 6 points. So they're only up a point, but still, I did not expect the Flyers. I guess it's that Tortorella coaching, I guess you could say.
Dude, it's interesting to see the Devils. I mean, they're only 4 games in, so 2-1-1.
Yeah, it's all.
Jack Hughes is also looking nasty too.
He is.
I mean, I think he was leading the league in points before last night when DeBrincat just decided to score 3 goals.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dylan Larkin assisted on all those, I think.
Yeah.
Too, so.
Yeah. No, they're looking good. That kind of leads into our next thing. The other undefeated team is your hot team of the week, and that is the Knights. So, what have you looked up or at least researched on the Knights and just what you've seen?
Yeah, I think the Knights are looking fucking so good. First of all, just like coming off of a cup run, coming off of winning the cup, like to be this dominant just starting out after that, I feel like there's a lot of teams go through kind of like a hangover after they win a cup. It's pretty incredible. Eichel's firing on all cylinders. Their offense looks good, and they're, I haven't really watched a lot of their games, but it is a huge surprise to me that they're 6-0. That's something that's just incredible. So
they're looking good. I told Zuch last week. I know in the preseason I talked about Aiden Hill and how I didn't really think. I thought that was just kind of a hot streak he was on, and the playoffs just came at the right time with him going in.
Yeah.
But even that first game he made an incredible save. So maybe I was wrong. I think part of that is the saltiness as a Sharks fan, where we traded him for a 4th round pick, and now he's an amazing goaltender, which when you have a good defense around you, it makes all the difference.
He's from Calgary too. Should come back to Calgary.
He should.
Yeah. But no, I just think the Knights are just like all around just such a good team, and they look dominant. I think everyone's kind of groaning about it. They're like, oh my gosh, not again.
Yeah.
The Knights are they're almost like becoming the Patriots of the NHL in a way. People are very much disliking them.
Yeah. I think with them, the Knights, I think they're going to have a bit of trouble maybe 3 years when some of their core players are aging. Because, I mean, all of the players they have, I mean, Jack Eichel's the one exception, I would say, with him being, 27. He's going to be a stud for a while. But some of their other, I don't know. They're not like they didn't like rebuild anything. They just kind of came in and built,
Yeah.
So I think they came in at a time in hockey where the game was growing so fast, and they lucked out by having the benefit of grabbing these players that were like Marchessault, who's a third line player on a lot of those other teams, but you put him on a team like the Knights or William Karlsson or who else? Mark Stone got traded to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, just teams like that.
There's a few players that are still from that original draft.
Yeah.
Like you said, Karlsson, Marchessault. But yeah, I just think that their management's just unbelievable. One, and then I also think Vegas is somewhere that's like it's sort of attractive to hockey players. I feel like there's a lot of shit going on there.
Tax free.
It's kind of it's a city that never sleeps, big time.
That too. Yeah.
But I just feel like their team culture is like all about winning there. Because I mean, if you literally make the Stanley Cup final your first year, I feel like that expectation is there. From the fan base, from the front office, and just the team culture all around. It's gonna be very interesting to see like what happens with the Knights when they actually start losing, whenever that is. If that ever
whenever that is. Yeah.
Just because I just feel like they haven't really had that taste of losing yet, and I don't think this season's gonna look like the one that they do that either.
No. Yeah, it won't be this season. I think it would be a couple years from now. But
going back to like the goaltending, been lights out. Adin Hill, 4 wins, 4 games started, 1.73 goals against, and 9.43 or sorry, 9.34 save percentage with Logan Thompson 9.35. So both their goaltending is goaltenders are pretty damn good right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know who the hell they're gonna lose to. They're playing the Flyers tomorrow night. It's gonna be interesting. Play the Hawks, Kings, Canadians. I mean, they've had decent amount of teams they've played that are okay. I mean, the Ducks, or pardon me, the Stars and Kraken probably are the best teams, but it's going to be interesting to see how they do against a solidified team. I still feel like it's still a little bit hard to identify what those teams are right now.
No, for sure. Only 2 weeks in, it's hard to say anything. But I mean, if they play Colorado, that'll be a good game. And like you said, I mean, the Pacific's just so weak. I think they have the chance to possibly win the President's Trophy with how much they're going to play the Sharks, the Ducks, the Kraken, the Oilers, the Flames. I mean, just looking at the Pacific right now, I don't know. No offense, but
totally.
They're the Knights. Even the Canucks, number 2 right now, like, I don't know. I just don't see them not beating those teams. And granted, it's hockey, so it's any given night, it could change. They could lose one of the games. But I think most of those series, they're going to win out. Those series that they play, those 4 games.
They're also so dominant at home. Like, I've been to a game there, and it's pretty cool atmosphere.
It's loud.
Yeah. It's like, what the hell? You would never think Las Vegas is going to be a hockey city, but I don't know. They're passionate about they're passionate about their teams, and I mean, just from being drunk in casinos there a few times and talking to dealers and stuff that are at the tables, they say that the Knights are like the Knights are their city's team, because the Raiders came from Oakland.
Yeah, Oakland. They don't really care. I think it's going to be. That's interesting that you say that, because now that I'm thinking about when I went to Vegas, like the whole city was all Knights, everything.
Yeah.
And I do think, it's their first professional sports team, so that's going to be their team forever. But I'm interested to see what it's going to be like when they don't win, because as a Sharks fan, that's how Sharks games were. They were always sold out since the minute I was born till 2019. Those games were always sold out, and now you look at a Sharks game and it's empty there. And that city was all about the Shark. Even I don't know, San Jose was weird.
And like, I think like Vegas, that's kind of like common in like those sort of markets that are like smaller markets, or not as like traditional hockey markets.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, for example, I don't think Arizona's ever been selling out games.
No. Yeah. I don't think we ever have.
But for example, I mean, the Sharks, I feel like, the Ducks have been like that before, and the Kings too. But when they're not doing good, no one really wants to go and watch them.
Yeah. So. I think the Kings have something special where they're in LA. And I think that's something the Knights have to benefit too, is like, obviously LA gets any sort of celebrity, they get tickets from their agent and they're going to go to the box seats or front behind the glass kind of seats. Mm-hmm. And I think Vegas can kind of have the same thing where that's their city's thing. So we'll see. I don't think we're going to like see the results of that for another couple of years. So it's be hard to say, but my hot team for the week is the Detroit Red Wings. Right now they're 5-1-0, so they're tied for first in the Atlantic with the Bruins. But from what I've seen so far, they look like a hot team. They were a team that didn't make the playoffs last year, and I think that's going to change this year. The Atlantic, again, that's a tough division. I think putting Montreal as the only team that's going to probably be at the bottom. I mean, the Panthers and Sabres are kind of starting off slow right now, but I don't think that's going to last.
Yeah, Montreal is probably going to start slowing down. I know it's interesting. Montreal's 2-1-1.
Yeah. I think they beat the Leafs, or not the Leafs beat them in shootout. Never mind. But yeah, I think the Red Wings as a whole right now, they got DeBrincat leading the league in points at number 1. That was largely because of last night on Sunday with that hat trick he had. But still, that game was amazing.
First hat trick of the year, I think, in the whole league too.
No, Matthews.
Oh yeah, Matthews did. Yep.
Yeah, first night and the next night he scored back-to-back hat tricks. Which I think he'll have a big season too. Off topic, but Larkin is number 2 in points with 11, and then Jack Hughes right behind him at 10. But even with their defenders, Justin Holl is a +9 right now, and he's leading the league in plus-minus right now. So I don't know. I think they're going to be a good team this year. Obviously, they are already, but it's interesting. I think, kind of like we said before we started recording, I think they're back. I think they've had a good couple years to kind of start rebuilding. I mean, they've sucked for, I don't know, when was the last time they made the playoffs?
I want to say 2018.
Yeah, so let's give them 4 years to kind of
19 or so. I mean, they haven't sucked for too long, and then before that, I think they had like the longest playoff streak out of any like professional team. It was like 20-something seasons.
Yeah,
I think the biggest thing with the Wings is just like their core is pretty young, and they can bring that energy every night. I mean, I really think one of their like impact players is Mo Sider. Got him on my fantasy team. Kid's a fucking beast.
Yeah.
Same with like I think it's Lucas Raymond. I think he's Swedish too.
Yeah.
He's also fucking good. He's got 5 points in 6 games. But those two players kind of take the weight off of DeBrincat and Larkin, which at least Larkin had the weight of being that team's player. For
it kind of gives some extra pressure off his shoulders.
Yeah, but holy shit, dude, fucking DeBrincat has just came in swinging. I can't believe he's looked really good. I mean, potentially, the MVP through the first 6 games of the season, and if he keeps it up, he's going to be in the discussion for a lot of stuff. And I'm stoked. He's also on my fantasy team too, so I'm really glad.
I have Larkin, so I'm happy with the Red Wings' success right now. So, I mean, I think Zeus said this, but anytime, like Steve Yzerman is the GM of them now.
Yeah.
And he's a great GM. He's the reason the Lightning, I think, had that dynasty that they had.
Yeah.
So you put him in control of a team, I think it's pretty safe to say that's going to be a good team.
Big time. And he used to play there. He used to be the captain.
Yeah, he was their guy.
I mean, Detroit's such a sick like hockey city. I mean, they call
it Hockey Town. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd love to totally would love to see a game there. Still haven't, but dude, like they've just got such a good fan base. It kind of makes my heart happy in a way to see that they're doing good again.
Yeah, me too.
Growing up, I was like a huge Pens fan because of Crosby, and they were like their arch nemesis because the Wings were fucking good in the early 2000s.
Yeah, No, I had my fair share.
Yeah, got that 2002 Cup win, which probably one of the best rosters of all time. But those 08, 09 teams were also just incredibly solid.
No, they were. I had. So my uncle, well, I guess my grandpa. A lot of my family is in Detroit. So
okay,
my uncle's a big Red Wings fan, and I was always a Sharks fan. So we would always like jabber back and forth playfully about how the Red Wings versus the Sharks or like those games. So there's always like a rivalry for me. I never liked the Red Wings growing up, just in that sense of they also would break the hearts of the Sharks in the playoffs, especially when they were that good. I think they sweeped them 1 year in the playoffs. So I've never had a good taste for the Red Wings, but now it's like interesting how teams kind of like, especially how we're so young, being 23, 24. It's kind of crazy how like these teams change into like the rivalries, I guess you could say. I mean, I think for me, like LA is always going to be, the Kings are always going to be a rival to the Sharks and like a team I'm always going to despise. For you, it's always Edmonton. But it's kind of interesting like how now, even like the Red Wings, like I don't have a really sore taste in my mouth about them anymore. Maybe in the past, remember some things, but I don't know about you, but it's just kind of interesting. Like even the Stars now, like I'm rooting for the Stars to do this mainly because of Joe Pavelski and he's on that team, but just kind of funny how it kind of wavers. And I think some of these teams that we'll see just not really, I don't know, it doesn't really have an effect on us anymore versus when they're good. It's like, okay, I hate that team. I guess it all depends on the success.
It's so frequent that teams go up and down.
Oh yeah.
Some teams takes 10 years to rebuild, but some teams they don't have to rebuild, or it takes 3 or 4 years, like the Wings case.
Yeah.
So
well, because even like the league. Yeah, no, I do too. I mean, Edmonton's like a team where it kind of took a long time for them to rebuild, and even then, they're at where they're at now. But a team like the Red Wings, where it just depends where they're at. Like, I think having Larkin, I don't know when they drafted him or what position they drafted him at, but I know that when they were good, he was probably still young, and then he kind of just carried along. And now that they're good again, he's their captain, and he's probably 28, 29 now. So it's just always interesting to see. Like you said, it's cool to see how much the league changes.
Drafted 2014, 15th overall. So
15th. Wow.
I feel like they were kind of in the. I don't really know. I feel like they weren't very good, but they were still just barely making the playoffs.
Yeah. Being at 15, they missed the playoffs that year. Because
maybe that's when it was.
Well, I guess that was when there was 30 teams. What year did you say it was? 14, 15?
2014 is when they drafted Larkin. Let's see.
So there was 30 teams at that point. That was before Vegas, a year before Vegas. So they might have made. I don't think they made playoffs. They might have been. Well, no, because there's 16 teams. They might have been like first exit. I don't know. But yeah, I think they're going to be a fun team to watch this year. Kind of excited to see, especially for the sake of my fantasy team, how Larkin does. I also think he deserves it too. I think he's kind of had a tough. He's had a tough couple of seasons, just kind of not having a good team around him, and now to see, I like him as a player.
Yeah,
I think it's cool to see he's got. Yeah, it's cool to see that he's got a team around him now.
It's been 7 seasons they haven't made the playoffs. So 2015, 2016 was the last time they made the playoffs. And holy shit, they haven't been doing too good. They had a 5th place finish in 2017, 2018, and 21, 22. But besides that, they've been second to last or last in their division. So Wings have been going through it the past 7 seasons. But
they're back though.
I mean, they should make the playoffs this year. Like you said, this fucking Atlantic division is just
it's tough.
I mean, just looking at those teams, I mean, obviously they're doing good right now, but I mean, a lot of stuff could change.
Yeah.
And then it's just crazy to look at the fucking Panthers. We're so close to the Cup, and they're not doing too good. they could,
2 and 3.
they could obviously come swinging back, obviously.
Yeah.
So.
And it's still early, but that's the scary thing. It's like it's still early, and all those teams, except for Montreal, I think have a shot at making the playoffs in the wild card spot. I mean, obviously there's going to be 3, but I think every single one of those teams has a shot at the wild card for that division.
The Senators are looking all right too.
Yeah, no, they're looking good too. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up our hot teams of the week. Now we'll get into the fun stuff for tomorrow. I'm very excited.
Oh yeah.
So ESPN, for those of you that don't know, tomorrow, I guess today when this episode drops, will be Tuesday. They are doing their Frozen Frenzy. It's the first time they've ever done anything like this, as of recently, at least I know of. It's going to be like a NFL Red Zone thing. From what I've heard, they're going to do almost like, instead of when a team's in the red zone, like for NFL, they'll do it on power plays and just like highlight goals and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to see how they do it. And I didn't know that the NBA starts tomorrow, so that's kind of funny that they
it is funny.
Line that up.
Dude, I am fucking so excited for this because the one thing that really pissed me off about the NHL that I think other leagues get right is staggering their start times. Yes. But with this, they do have that. So we got, I mean, for Mountain Standard Time, you know, we got a game at 4 p.m., 4:30, 4:45, 5 p.m., 5:15, 5:30, 5:45, 6, 6:15, 6:30, 6:45, 7, and onwards all the way to fucking 9 p.m.
Good. Yeah.
So
that's what they need.
Yeah. I am pumped to see how this does. And you know, also like it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, I don't think there's any other times throughout the season they do this, but if this is very successful, like I could see them doing this a few times throughout next season.
I don't think they have anything scheduled, but I think that this was announced like pretty recently. So I think if they do well with this, and I think Tuesday's a perfect night. I think it's the tough thing about TV is you've got football dominating pretty much 4 Monday, Thursday, Saturday college, Sunday NFL. So that's 4 days out of the week, 7 days. So you got 3 open days to really do something with it. And I think once football's over, obviously that's when a lot of the other sports start heating up.
Yeah.
But that's
not
good that they
January, February, you know.
I mean, it's still a long time without that. And like you said, I think it's great that they're staggering things because there's a lot of times where I'm like, God, this game's in overtime, but this game's at the end of the third and it's tied. So it's like tough to watch them all. And
100%. It's going to be sweet to see this format of it's kind of like Red Zone too.
Yeah.
Wonder who exactly they're going to have on there. I feel like that's probably out there.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be
sure Biz will be on there.
No, he's TNT.
Oh shit!
So he won't be there. Which kind of, I think TNT does a little bit better than ESPN broadcast wise. Like,
100%.
I mean, their what's it called? Their intermission crew is awesome. But then also, who's their main broadcaster? Kenny. You know his name? Kenny. Hold on.
For TNT?
Yeah.
He's
a guy. He's
Butcher Gross is the one that's going to be hosting the Frozen Frenzy show.
Okay.
Shit's going to be
Kenny Albert. That's who it is. Kenny Albert. This guy. I'll show you. I like him as a commentator. He just has like a good voice.
Yeah, definitely a good commentator.
Obviously he's no Doc Emmerich, but yeah, he's a good broadcaster. I just think TNT has better personalities on there. ESPN will have what I think PK does. PK Subban does.
Yep, ESPN, PK should be on there too.
With them, so I'm excited to watch it though. I'm curious what they'll do as far as like who's going to be calling it and stuff, but and yeah, I'm just excited to see it really. Like I really have no idea what or how they're going to do it. They said the power play thing, but I don't know.
I mean, yeah, they'll probably just like go into all these different games right before goals is what my thought would be. Kind of just bounce around like red zone does. But dude, holy shit, when that comes around like 5:30 to 6 p.m. time, there's gonna be like 7 or 8 games going on. So it's like they're gonna be bouncing all around. It's gonna be pretty fucking awesome. I think I'm excited for it.
Yeah. It starts early too for us. 4 p.m.
Yeah.
It's kind of awesome.
Sweet.
Like
so sweet.
That'll be cool. I'll have that on while I'm working. For all those games. But some of these games we can kind of get into as far as what's coming up. I kind of wish that they made them a little bit better in terms of matchup wise.
Agreed. Yeah, I guess starting off, what do you think about this Leafs Capitals?
That will be interesting. I think that'll be a fun game to watch. I don't know how are the Capitals doing right now.
They're not too good. I want to say they're bottom. They're bottom of the Metro. 1-1.
Okay. Well, both their goalies, Wall and Dwayne Kemper, they're both 1-1 right now. So it's not like it's a uneven goaltender matchup. So it could be a good game. I mean, the next one, Ducks, Blue Jackets.
I'm saying Caps on this one. What do you think?
I think Toronto makes it out.
Okay.
I don't think the Caps are that good.
Let's do some rapid fire. Ducks versus Jackets.
I'm gonna say Ducks.
I'll go with you. I'll go with the Ducks on that one. I think the Jackets have just been underperforming big time.
They have. Yeah.
Even at home, they have not looked good at all. Yeah. So I could see the Ducks coming out on top on that one, even though they haven't looked too good going back to the bad matchups. So
yeah, that's what I mean. It's like, I mean, I guess it'll be a good matchup because they're both not very good, so it's not going to be one-sided. But
yeah,
next one, Sabres Senators. That'll be a good fun matchup, just in terms of division-wise. I think for that one, I'm going to take Buffalo because I'm a Buffalo bandwagon right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Senators. Honestly, I think the Senators have looked pretty decent this year, and I could see Buffalo not doing as good when they're away. But Senators are 3-1 at home, so they're looking all right.
Yeah,
it's so funny just saying these stats with 5 games in, like it means anything.
Yeah, like we're analyzing so much.
Canes versus Lightning, dude.
Canes and Lightning. I think Lightning looked good in the game. I watched them against the Preds. I mean, the Preds aren't that good, but I think the Lightning are going to win that game. Carolina really hasn't been. Well, Freddie Anderson's 2-0, I guess.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Lightning on that one.
Next one, Devils Canadians. I think we're probably gonna be in sync on this one, but I'm gonna go with Devils.
Yeah, I think the Devils gotta win this one.
Yeah,
it's just I mean they got to. But Montreal's at home; they do have a good home crowd, so
they do. I think the
Devils
been
surprising so far this season too.
They have.
Weller.
Yeah, I think it'll be a close game.
As most people think.
Yeah. Okay, Stars and Pens. This will be a good game, I think. I'm gonna go Stars.
I think this is a really good game. Yeah, I'm going Stars too.
Yeah. Sharks Panthers. What's tough about that is So with the Sharks right now, I think they should be tanking, but they haven't won a game. They're the only winless team this season. They don't have a single win.
I'm gonna go with the Sharks then.
I'm going to
go with the Sharks. I don't think the Panthers are looking too good either. I feel like this is the game. This is the game where the Sharks look wild. They look good. And I just feel like with teams that can't slide that much, this has got to be the game that the Sharks win. So I'm going to go with the Sharks on this one.
Okay. I'm going Panthers. I think Panthers going to take that. And I want the Sharks to lose because they need to get that first overall pick this year.
Yeah.
Even with the lottery. I'll take number 2 also. Colorado Islanders. Ooh, this will be a good game too. Islanders are boring as hell. But I think the Avalanche are so good. I think Colorado's going to take that. Sorokin is tough tough to bet against.
I'm gonna pick the Islanders just because they're at home, and I feel like someone's got to beat the Avs one of these games.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're a good team to pick to beat them.
Gotta let up, but yeah, it's gonna be a bold pick, but I'm saying the Islanders upset.
Okay. Yeah.
The Avs. Going on to the Kraken versus Wings.
Ooh. I'm going Red Wings.
Dude, honestly, I like the under in this out of anything, but I'd probably say the Wings. Just being at home, how hot they are.
Yeah.
Coming off a 6-2 win against the Flames, they're going to be good. So.
Yeah. I went to, when we were in Nashville, I think I talked about this, but me and Cody went to a Preds game. They played the Kraken, and they stunk it up. I think the final score was like 4-1 or something. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they did not look good. And the Predators are not a great team either. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go Red Wings on that.
Dude, how was that atmosphere? I've seen it.
Dude, it was so loud. I mean, it was
fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, no, it was sick. It was their season opener too. So there was a good amount of heads in there. It was a Thursday night. They threw the Catfish on there. It was awesome. They got 4 goals, so we got to hear the Tim McGraw song a lot. It was fun. It was just, I love how they play into the Nashville thing. They're got live music at the.
I feel like Vegas kind of does that too.
Yeah, no, they do. It's honestly genius. I mean, you kind of have to. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That game was a lot of fun. Next one, Bruins and Blackhawks. Blackhawks at home. And I think they're actually selling out their arenas now because of Bedard.
Yeah, I had a buddy that went to a Hawks game on Saturday, I think it was Saturday, and looked like a kick-ass time. I think they did lose, but I think the Hawks are going to come out on top on this one.
Yeah, they could be. I think they're their first Bruins' first loss to the Blackhawks. That would be interesting.
I think the big teams that are undefeated are going to go down tomorrow night. I don't know about the Knights, but I think the Hawks. I could see the Hawks winning this one tomorrow night, and it's going to be a good 2-3 point game for Bedardski. So that's who I got in that one.
Okay. I saw. So this is kind of off topic, I guess it's on topic. So Bedard, I've been looking into like who he's played starting out. So his first game was against Sidney Crosby. So that was his first game in the NHL against him, Sidney Crosby. So that's his first game. Second game, he played Bruins, the 2023 best regular season team of all time. He got a break playing against Montreal, but then lost to them. Then he played a team like Toronto, who's a good team. Then they played Colorado, the 2022 Stanley Cup champions. And then they played the Knights, the 2023 champions. They play Boston again next. They play Vegas again. And then they play Arizona to finish out the month. So in the month of October, he's played his only like breaks he's played against like that are good teams is Montreal and Arizona. So a lot of pressure to put on him. And I think, what does he got now? He's got, I think, 4 points because he had that goal the other night. So he's not doing horrible. Yeah. But I think that sucks to be playing. And the Blackhawks are not a good team. Like, they really aren't. So to be playing against those teams, that's rough for him.
Dude, and Taylor Hall's out. I just know he's out because my fantasy, I haven't been following the Hawks too closely. Obviously looking at scores and stuff, but yeah, I really think that, when Hall is out, it's gonna hurt Bedard's production.
Yeah.
He's got 4 points in 6 games, so below that 100 point pace, like I was predicting.
It's still early though, but like I said, he's played tough teams. Like those are solid teams to play against. And your first month, that's who you're playing. That's crazy. But we're gonna say Blackhawks on that one. The next one, also the over/under on that is 5.5, which I don't know. I might bet the over on that.
Yeah, I think that would look good on that. However,
the goaltending's good though.
Swayman's good, and fucking Mrazek. So
okay, Mrazek. I don't know if I've been watching some Blackhawks games just for the sake of Bedard, but Peter Mrazek doesn't look bad. I think his defense around him is horrible, but Mrazek's making some saves in these games where I'm like, holy crap, this guy's he's a good goaltender. But again, he's got a shit team around him, so it's tough to do anything. But it could be a low-scoring game. Yeah, with Swayman, I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't bet the over.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just, both those teams. Yeah, hockey's interesting, so it could go over.
It could
5.5. It always looks like it's low,
yeah.
But
yeah. But then it's like 2-1 the whole game, and you're like, shit.
So,
yeah,
100%.
Next one, Winnipeg and Blues. I'm gonna go Blues because I have them.
Yeah,
later on.
I'm going Blues with you too. Got to stick to our parlay, which we will announce after we go through all these games.
Yeah. Next one, Edmonton, Minnesota. I'm going to go Minnesota. I think Edmonton's going to have a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm going Minnesota too.
I don't think they've tweaked enough yet to be figured it out. So Minnesota doesn't look great, but they're not horrible. So I'm going to go Minnesota.
Yeah.
Ooh, Vancouver and Nashville. That could be kind of interesting. I think in this one, though, I'm going to go Vancouver. I just don't think it sucks for UC. I feel bad for UC Saros. He's a great goalie.
I'm gonna go Nashville on this one.
Are you? Okay.
Yeah, we were just talking about the atmosphere there. They gotta pull it off.
They are home. Yeah, that's true. Next one, Rangers and Flames.
Going Flames.
Flames. I'll go Flames with you. Yeah. I think are they? Yeah. We'll go Flames because of parlay. Next one, Arizona and LA. This is kind of interesting. Coyotes actually haven't been bad starting off.
They haven't.
I'm going to go Arizona on this. Logan Cooley's on my fantasy team. I need him to have a big night tomorrow, so I'm going to go with Arizona.
Yeah, I like Arizona as well. And Logan Cooley is on my fantasy team too. So
nice. Yeah, he was my very last. Yeah, he was my very last pick, but honestly, he's been doing well. So
yeah.
Last game. Yeah, he does. Last game, Knights versus Flyers. Okay, this could be interesting here.
If we're riding the upset train, it's going to be Flyers. But
I think they played them pretty recently. The Knights did. I don't remember what the score was. Yeah, they played the Flyers not too long ago. I want to say, unless I'm tripping. Never mind. It was someone else. Scratch that. I'm going to go with Vegas. I don't think the Flyers are that good. I think, Vegas. Like we said earlier, Knights being the team that I think sticks it out, I think that they're going to beat the Flyers. So we'll stick with that.
Also, I know this contradicted our parlay, the Panthers, how I was saying, the Sharks are going to win. So I'm going to change that with Arizona money line. I like that pick.
Arizona?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna throw that in there instead of Panthers minus 1.5. I had a change of heart on that. I just think the Sharks are gonna. I have a weird feeling the Sharks are gonna win tomorrow night.
Okay, I'll take it. Let's see. Okay, I was gonna build it on here. All right. Now, I've been teasing this, but we're gonna do a parlay for us. We picked. I know recently we've been doing like the pick'ems and stuff like that throughout the week. But with this many games on tomorrow, I figured why not make it a parlay. Make it a little bit more fun. So if you guys want to follow along with us, we'll put it up on our Instagram if you're listening to this before the games and stuff. If not, it'll still be on our Instagram. Let us know how it works out. But this is our money or our parlay as of now. So what we have the Maple Leafs and Capitals over 6.5. It's minus 13 odds. Easy. Stars, Penguins. We're taking the Stars. Bam. Kraken and Red Wings. Red Wings money line. Bam. Rangers, Flames. We're going Flames with plus 112.
Let's go Flames. Bounce back after that 6-2 loss.
Yep. Blues at Winnipeg. We're going to take the Blues at plus 164.
Big upset coming.
To wrap it up, Coyotes and Kings. We're taking the Coyotes at plus 170. So if you put down $10, this is on Bet Online because we're not in a state where we can legally gamble. So this is all offshore. Actually, this is fake. We're not doing anything illegal.
Yeah, this is all fake.
This is just for this is all play. We can't bet, but you guys can if you guys in a legal state. So a $10 bet would win you $939 on this 6-leg parlay. So I'll say it again. Over 6.5 for the Leafs and Capitals. Stars at -108 money line Red Wings -137. Calgary Flames money line +112 and Blues money line +164, and then the Coyotes money line +170. $10 gets you a PS5 and some extra change, maybe some games, an extra little. You can honestly buy 2 PS5s.
New hockey stick, yeah.
New hockey stick, yep. Anything like that. So I'm going to place it. Well, theoretically, allegedly, I'm going to place it right now and put it in there for $10.
Yeah, theoretically, I'm going to do that same thing as well. I'm going to put 15 on it though.
15, so, okay.
Let's see.
Hey, if it hits, yeah.
If it hits, I'll give away a hockey stick to the followers.
Yeah. If you can tell us, but you have to be a loyal listener. So I kind of do this with a Settle Down podcast sometimes, but if you're listening to this point with the parlay and you text us the word, I can't think of anything. Edmonton sucks. If you text us Edmonton sucks, we'll know that you're in the drawings for a grand prize if we hit this parlay. We'll both chip in for it if you're listening, but you got to text us that.
We're still thinking of the grand prize too. Could be a lot of different things.
Still thinking of it. Could be. We'll figure it out, but it's got to hit first before we can think of anything. So if you say that to us, we know that you listen to it. It's got to be before the game too. It can't be after we hit the parlay. So if you listen to it day of, cheers. Thanks to you. But yeah, that wraps it up for the most part as far as our NHL talk. We are going to get into some college hockey too. University of North Dakota plays Minnesota.
Yeah, they did play Minnesota. They did play Minnesota over the weekend, which I'm going to get into. Okay. I just need to. I just want to see what the odds are for $15.
Oh yeah, check them out.
Let me just do that real quick. Sorry, y'all. Woo! Yeah, $15 to win 1,086. Okay. So wow. If you want to throw $15 on it,
yeah, get yourself some money. Yeah. So
we'll see. But yeah, going into college hockey, we had 2 big teams over the weekend play. UND and Minnesota. They've had a pretty fierce rivalry throughout their history. I believe UND was, I think they were 4th in the country going into this game, and Minnesota was 1st. I think Minnesota has 23 draft picks on their roster, which is fucking insane. It's like more than skaters you can dress. Not only that, UND always has a large handful. I think they have 11. Could be wrong about those numbers. Those are kind of from locker room sources at beer league games. But yeah, it looks like Minnesota did take the first one 4-0, and these were both played at UND as well. Which that arena is so sick. Ralph Engelstad it's like the Taj Mahal of hockey is what they call it.
Really?
But yeah, this it's beautiful. It's like $100 million arena. A lot of players say it's better than most NHL arenas. The facilities at North Dakota are fucking insane. It's I mean, a lot of people call it like the Alabama of hockey, but I mean the facilities and how they treat hockey players there are insane.
It's different.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. But yeah, they dropped the first one 4-0, and obviously kind of a Sioux fan. I grew up going to some hockey camps out there in the summer. Which they are the Fighting Hawks now, which is bullshit. But don't even need to get into it. But they did drop that first one 4-0. Which I was like, oh crap, dude, Minnesota's just too good. They're not even gonna have a chance the second game. But then UND came out and won Saturday night 2-1. So that rivalry is definitely still back up and going. I know they've played in the tournament, I believe, 1 or 2 times since their old conference broke up, because they used to be in the old conference together. I think it was the WCHA. But now UND is in the NCHC, and then Minnesota's in the Big Ten now. So they kind of 2 rivals that unfortunately don't play every year unless it's in the tournament. but they did schedule these as non-conference games. So
I like that.
I think they have UND this year, or at UND this year, and then next year it's going to be at Minnesota. And I'm not sure, it might even be a 4-year thing. But yeah, these are two big powerhouses for college hockey, and just like very, very good rivalries going back in history. Both their colleges definitely hate each other quite a bit. But yeah, I'm just gonna pull up the college hockey rankings just to verify. I'm pretty sure that it's 4-1, so pretty high ranked team matchup.
Honestly, I haven't really gotten into college hockey a lot. I know usually around the tournament I'll watch it some, but college hockey's fun. Like, I think it's something I want to pay attention to more this year. But college hockey is exciting, and especially with, like, I think now it's changing where I think before we didn't see as many players playing college hockey before going into the NHL, or even let alone getting drafted. Now they I like how they do it where even so for the Sharks, for example, they've got Will Smith, their 4th overall pick. He's playing at Boston College right now. He just got his first goal actually over the weekend, which was awesome. But I like to see how these teams are now kind of using college hockey to kind of build these players and let them develop and stuff, instead of sending them to the AHL or letting them play juniors another year. You're kind of having them go and play college hockey, which I think is something needed for the sport of college hockey, and then also just for the NHL too, for development.
Yeah, I do think it's good for, especially development aspect for the players, because they do get 4-year education in some cases. I think there's a lot of players that go 1 or 2 years and then go straight to the show.
Yeah.
But majority of players do get a 4-year education. But yeah, I think it's also kind of just riding off the tail of how good USA hockey's been proven itself in the past 10, 20 years.
They have
been a lot of first overall draft picks, a lot more prospects that are coming out of the US that are just fucking solid compared to, back in the day of Canada and somewhat Russia too. Just because, the US, there's so many different sports, but no, US hockey is definitely starting to come up on the rise. And not only that, these college hockey teams are fucking awesome, man. They're it's a very competitive field, and not only that, there's a lot of history behind it. Obviously BC is one of the teams that's always good. Boston College, Denver's always good, Minnesota's always good, North Dakota, Quinnipiac is good, Michigan's always up there as well. BU's up there. Providence is usually pretty good.
Ohio State now, even
but, even looking at these rankings. Yeah, even looking at these rankings right now, I got, I was right. It was 4 is North Dakota, 1 is Minnesota. I think Minnesota won the chipper last year, but 2 is Denver, 3 is Boston College. Oh, Quinnipiac did? Against Minnesota, right?
Yeah.
Fuck, that's pardon me. I think I had Minnesota in my bracket. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and Arizona State is 13.
Yeah, they're another team
right now, which is very interesting. They're playing at a mold arena, so that's something I just think is sweet. I would love if more West Coast teams picked up D1 college hockey. I think Boise State could totally do it. I think if they,
I think it really depends on everyone else, though. I think
100%.
Arizona State is huge. It's huge that they're getting a team, or that have a team. But yeah, I think with seeing how Acha has become so big over the last couple of years, I think we could start to see that more, where NCAA hockey becomes more of a thing, and especially it starts with the growth of the game. I know, it all comes back to just NHL and having the game be accessible for everyone, because I think that's one of the tough things that we have to remember is the accessibility of the game, and even you can go out and buy $100 stick, but you're gonna look like an idiot. And I got made fun of for shitty sticks. It's sorry, I don't have $500 to spend on a stick.
100%.
So I think it just comes down to that, and I think that's the tough part with hockey. it's an expensive sport. I mean, ice. It's just different. I mean,
yeah, ice is expensive. I just do think that these West Coast schools could make some money. I mean, especially with like Seattle, how much the Kraken have succeeded, how much of it's a sports city. I think UW could definitely have a team. I think Oregon could have a team.
Oregon big time,
and just with Boise State's case, like obviously their club team is awesome and they're pretty successful in their past. But the arena that they would play in is right downtown, right next to the university. So obviously like the travel cost would be a lot, but it's definitely possible, I think. It's interesting to see like Alaska Fairbanks and University of Alaska Anchorage have teams. So like if they can do it, like shouldn't these Pac-12 teams should be able to do it, let alone I mean, I don't know about Boise State. That's kind of far-fetched, but I do think that at least with Arizona State, seeing how much success they have, some other West Coast teams could definitely step up and do it. And there's always been some Colorado teams that have been good, but it'd be sweet. I think UNLV could even do it, and they could have like a good following, just because Vegas is crazy about hockey now. So
I think give it 10 years, and I think we could see a totally different NCAA hockey landscape.
That would be sweet. I would very much enjoy that too.
And I think, I mean, it's tough to just, well, I guess juniors, I'm thinking like in terms of juniors and stuff, but even then, like those kids are all under 18. So it's not like they're taking anything away from college. It's really just, and realistically, there's not that many kids that go straight from, I mean, you can see it now. Like, the first top 3 picks are the only ones that are left that are playing in the league right now. So you have Bedard, Carlson, and Fantilli. They've all scored points now. But Will Smith, he's playing college. Who's 5? David Reinbacher, I have no idea where he's at. But I'm sure all those other guys,
Europe
I don't think they're playing in the AHL. Like, I think they're playing somewhere else, especially the kids that aren't from America. But yeah, I think USA Hockey's done a great job. I think even just looking at it now, I mean, I could name far more good American hockey players than I could a couple years ago, or not a couple, but say 10 years ago, where it was like Patrick Kane, Phil Kessel was in that conversation, Jeremy Roenick. I mean, you had Ryan Whitney playing on the U.S. national team, whereas nowadays he wouldn't make that roster.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, there's all these kids, and the USNDTP has done a great job too with all this stuff.
Yeah, the development program has been very, very good.
Just more and more players just keep. I mean, Jack Hughes, Quinn Hughes, all the Hughes brothers.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if Luke played.
Austin Matthews.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cole Caulfield, Trevor Zegras, like all these guys. These are great players. So I think
versus
we'll
like
see
that wasn't as frequent, say 20 years ago.
No.
So it's pretty sick to see USA Hockey making this step.
Yeah, I like to see it.
And it would be so fucking sick if it was in the Olympics.
Bring
back Olympic hockey with NHL players. I'm sick of. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still cool seeing these younger players represent the teams and stuff and amateurs, but everyone wants to see NHL players in the Olympics.
No, it's the best of the best.
The most watched sport in
the world.
Olympics
did you ever see the when they did the World Cup? Like, I think it was
2016.
16. Do that again. Honestly, I think the Olympics is tough just because it's in the middle of the season. I think in terms of teams not wanting to give up their players and then them go get hurt, which I think for the sake of nationalism, I think you should be okay with playing for your country and getting hurt. Like, I just think teams should put that aside and be like, it's every 4 years.
Yeah.
I get it because it's tough. You don't want to
I guess I do get that case, but the fans, man.
Yeah.
Give the fans what they want.
Yeah. No, it grows the game. Like, think about how many people talked about that TJ Oshie breakaway goal or shootout goal.
Yeah. Or the golden goal when Crosby won it in 2010.
Like, that was all that stuff. Sick. Yeah. No, it's all awesome.
Or even Miracle on Ice. I swear to God, like that's people that don't know anything about hockey in the U.S.
Yeah.
So they'll at least talk about the Miracle on Ice.
Yeah. Well, those were kids. Those weren't NHL players.
Yeah, 100%. That's what like kickstarted growth in the U.S. with hockey, which is interesting. And then you see Patrick Kane, Jeremy Roenick, all these really good Mike Madonna, all these kids coming, grew up watching the Miracle on Ice, and then
Miracle on Ice,
seeing all these other people like Kachuk brothers, Hughes brothers, Austin Matthews, all of them coming out, and they were kind of watching the Miracle on Ice kids. So it's very awesome, dude. It's good to see as a USA Hockey adult league player now. So
yeah. Dude, that'd be fun. Oh my god, imagine if they had Olympics, but it was beer leagues teams.
That would be fucking crazy.
Like you
dude,
couldn't
if it
have
was like that, it would be all like former NHL players.
Yeah.
Probably.
No, like you couldn't do that. It'd have to be kids that have never touched juniors. Like they have to be maybe over 25 or something, like just older kids or older adults that are playing. Can't be ex-NHLers. But just have a bunch of guys that are drunk out there playing for an Olympic gold medal. That'd be fun.
That would be awesome.
But I think that wraps up our episode. We've got a lot of fun tomorrow. I'm really excited for tomorrow. I don't know what you're doing tomorrow, but if you want to come over, we can watch some of those games.
Super down, dude.
But just text me. But other than that, guys, that's all I've got. I think if anyone that's listening, you guys got anything that you want to input to us, just text us. We could do like a Q&A thing even too. If anyone has any questions that are listening, we'll try to answer them the best of our abilities. But other than that, I think we are all set. Look out next week. We'll probably try to keep to this Monday schedule or coming out Tuesday schedule, and everything like that. I think most of those big like slates for hockey are going to be on Tuesdays, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Mondays are pretty slow for the most part, for at least in terms of how many games are played and who's playing. So
yeah. But other than that, guys, thank you for listening. This is episode number 3. Be sure to follow us on everything, our Instagram, YouTube, follow us on Spotify, all that stuff. Instagram will get you all the updates so you can see when a new episode drops. It's just at Settle Down Pod. It'll be in the description. But other than that, you guys have a great rest of your night. And be sure to watch some hockey tomorrow. Or tonight, I guess.
Yep.